Here are all the differences I noticed between the original edition and the graphic novel version of Karen's Worst Day. The graphic novel starts with Karen cutting her brother's hair and getting in trouble. This scene is not in the original book, although it's mentioned on page 5. Dad is the one who catches Karen cutting hair. In the book, it's Mommy and Seth. Karen doesn't include ice cream and new shoes on her list of good thoughts. She does not wake up 5 times during the night. Karen's fall out of bed is less dramatic. In the book, she falls about a foot away from the bed, landing on the rug with her pillow and stuffed cat. In the graphic novel, she's next to the bed and nothing else fell down on the floor. Christy's nightgown is changed into normal clothes. They talk about Karen's broken wrist, whereas in the book, they talked about her broken arm. Karen doesn't tell Christy about her dream. Karen says, "I guess so. I hope today is not a bad luck day." That dialogue is unique to the graphic novel. The person who opens the curtains is changed from Karen to Christy. Karen's special jeans with zippers on the sides are changed to jeans with sequins on the sides. The knapsack is changed to a backpack. Karen's more happy to be Christy's twin. In the book, she complains about the jeans and falling out of bed. Karen doesn't mention the twins in her class. The prize in the cereal box is changed from tattoos to stickers. In the graphic novel, Karen looks for the prize by dumping all the cereal in her bowl. In the book, Elizabeth and Karen pour out all the cereal into a mixing bowl. They take out the prize, then put all the cereal back into the box. There is no prize packet in the cereal box. In the book, there was a prize packet, but it was empty. Karen talks about her favorite TV show without saying what it is. In the book, she says her favorite show is Mr. Ed, and she talks about it for a bit. Andrew watches a fluffy animal cartoon. In the book, he watches a violent fighting cartoon. They cut out the part where Karen says she hates all cartoons except Muppet Babies. I think they should have kept that line, because there's a Muppet Babies cartoon that today's kids are familiar with. Karen steals the TV remote to change the channel. In the book, she runs to the TV to change the channel. Dad doesn't check the TV guide to see how long the shows are. Karen doesn't mention what time it is. She does this a few times in the original book. Karen doesn't explain how the pets relate to each other. Karen doesn't throw a ball for the dog to chase. Karen gives up when the dog can't find a stick. In the book, she says, "It's okay, we can play with a different stick." Dad is outside when calling to Karen. He's inside in the book. Karen says Hanny is a bad friend. In the book, she says Hanny is a toad. Every time that's mentioned, it gets changed to bad friend. Karen slams the door twice in the graphic novel. She doesn't do that in the book because her parents don't like door slamming. They remove the part where Karen thinks Christy's just being nice when she's offering to play with her. After losing checkers, Karen says, "I wanted to win on my own." That line is unique to the graphic novel. Karen doesn't blame the witch for giving her bad luck. She does that once or twice in the book. Karen's stuffed cat doesn't have a t-shirt. They remove the line where Karen says her cat is dying. They remove the part where Elizabeth talks about Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, as well as the part where Elizabeth reads the book to her. Elizabeth and Karen smile at each other. In the book, they laugh at each other. Karen likes the mailman because he talks about the dogs he sees. In the book, she likes the mailman because he gives her rides in the mail truck. Karen sees the mail carrier in front of her house. In the book, she runs down the street and sees the mail carrier in front of a different house. The 13 pieces of mail are reduced to 8 pieces. They cut out the part where Elizabeth asks Karen what she wants to eat for dinner. I guess it kind of ruins the bad day theme when Karen gets to pick dinner that night. Karen complains less about Andrew's lucky day. Andrew's movies are changed from Lady and the Tramp and The Secret of Nim to made-up movies titled Cat Magic and Adventure Friends. Karen says Andrew will hate the characters and the stories and the songs in the movies. In the book, Karen lists out all the characters he will hate. Karen's dad doesn't say how long her timeout is. In the book, it's 20 minutes. I think they should have kept the 20-minute timeout, because that makes it more meaningful when, later on, she's let out of timeout early. When Karen's in timeout, she lists everything bad that happens to her once. In the book, she does it twice. In the same chapter, it's terrible. The original book has a back and forth dialogue which goes, no, yes, no, okay. The second no shouldn't be in there, so the graphic novel removes it. Karen jumps off of her bed to make a loud noise. The graphic novel removes the part where Karen talks about every single ice cream that every single person purchased. Karen says, I really wanted cherry, sadly. In the book, she yells, I wanted cherry! They have hamburgers and fries for dinner. In the book, it's burgers, potatoes, and salad. Karen doesn't make a big deal over the fact that 14 bad things happen to her. They remove the part where Karen says she didn't mention the bad things with the witch neighbor because it would make her parents mad. Karen rides in the back of the car and she uses a high-back booster seat. In the original, she rides in the front seat and there's no mention of a booster seat. The brother who says, keep it up, kid, is changed from Sam to Charlie. Karen's chocolate soda is changed to a root beer float. Sandy asks if Karen is Charlie's big sister. In the book, John asks if she's his girlfriend. Kate asks if Karen did her hair because it's beautiful. In the book, John asks if she has a boyfriend or if she's married. Karen's apology to Andrew is longer and more sincere. Karen doesn't read Alexander in the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day to Andrew. Karen's apology to Hanny is longer and more sincere. Karen and Elizabeth hug instead of doing butterfly kisses. And that's everything. Yeah, it's a lot of changes, but it's mostly small stuff. I'd say the graphic novel is pretty faithful to the original book.